Please, tell them that I am God.
Welcome to episode 23. This is container 6. This will be part 4, since I did not want to get into what was remaining in this box in the last video because it's a lot of loose games, and you will soon see why I was excited about this box. And that is because these appear to be all multi-game cartridges and bootlegs. So let me get into it. How about GG Super 56 and 1? This is going to show off a little bit of my addiction to these games. This looks like it has 3, 6, 9, 10. But it just shows pictures of the games. It doesn't actually say 10 and 1. This one I know I have a couple of. This is Super 68 in 1. I'm going to have to take individual pictures of these with my cell phone and then edit them in, so hopefully I'll have this video edited together in a bit. Super 9 in 1, 1993 new game. Just a little bit of a sticker peel on that one. And some of these clamshells are bootleg as well. Again, this is one you see very common, Super GG21. Quite common. How about Supreme Gear 60 in 1? Supreme Gear. It's no longer good. It's no longer super. It is Supreme. This is Super 6 in 1. They also, a lot of them don't have the screw on the back. They just are snapped together. So you can pop them apart when you put them in and they don't work, and you blow in them and they don't work, and you clean them and they don't work. I'm going to guess this is 9 in 1 because there's 9 pictures of boxes on the actual label. But you don't know till you plug them in, and that applies to all of these. Super 2 in 1, Sonic and Alien Storm. Alien Storm, obviously being a game that was never made for Game Gear, so it's probably a Master System port. We'll then jump to Super 12 in 1. Can't beat that, 12 games in 1. That's super.
I'm not having fun doing this.
Here's an example of a bootleg box. So I'll show you the game, which is 15 in 1. So we got 15 games. And let me grab the next one and I can show you the difference. I'll hold these up together. You can see this one has Sega on the, it says Game Gear across the top. On the back it has Sega. This one has nothing. It's completely blank. On the back it's completely blank. So this is a bootleg clamshell for the Game Gear. So they tend to be really tight, that I found. When you use them, they are more stiff. They're not nearly as pliable as the regular. And when you close them, they close really tight. This is just Gear Sonic, and I think I showed you this in the last video in the box. So this is just a loose copy of that game, because I'm not even sure what the hell Gear Sonic means. GG 60 in 1. Come and get it if you want 60 games in 1. Colorful little cartridge. Super 32 in 1. Glorious. some of these out of here so I can grab them. This is 1996 new GG 32-in-1. And also, this has no screw on the back. So that's another sign of a bootleg. Or could be a sign of a bootleg, I should say. Super 56-in-1. With a colorful little label on there. This, I think, is already a duplicate. This is probably 9-in-1 since it shows the cover of 9 different Game Gear boxes. I'm still going. I wasn't kidding when I said I had a whole box of these. Super 32-in-1. Maybe again, if I'm correct. Maybe I already showed you that one, but that means I have more. I'll probably have many copies of the same multi-game, such as Super 23-in-1. Last row. These are all brand new finds to me. I couldn't even tell you what was in this box before I opened it, besides their multi-games. Real 24-in-1, as opposed to the fake 24-in-1, which does not exist. We have Super Game List 18-in-1, and it has seal of quality across the back. And they used a regular screw instead of the Dorks. Seal of quality. You know when you see that printed on a bootleg label, it's got to be amazing. Another bootleg clamshell. This is Turbo 16-in-1. And the labels often are too big or too small for the designated area. And this game in particular has a little button right here. Hopefully my camera will focus in on that. And that's what you use to change the game. So you plug it in, and the first game that pops up is Columns, hypothetically. And you're like, no, I want to play Pengo, game number 2. You'd press the button, and it should transition you to the next game. However, that's not always the case with bootlegs. It could take you back to Columns. It could take you to game 20. It could take you anywhere it wants. If it works at all. 94 new, 24-in-1. So that's up to 1994. 24 games in one cartridge. I obviously am a fan of these, since I seem to have so many.
Don't know.
This label is worn, and I believe it's Game Gear, or it says Gear GG 30. And it has 30. And you'll notice, too, on this cartridge, it just says Game right here. It doesn't say Sega, it just says Game. So that's another sign of an imposter. A game posing as authentic. Here we have Super GG 21 in brilliant gold. Isn't that wonderful? 21. Look at that. Bright gold shining through. This, I think, is a copy or duplicate already. 3, 6, 9, so that's probably 10-in-1. I'm pretty confident I just showed you that one, so that probably is a duplicate. We have Gear 9-in-1 Screen Select. Oh man. Almost to the bottom. Oh, this one I haven't seen in a long time. This says 76-in-1, but I haven't seen that one come up in a long time, and I always remember it because of how brightly colored it is compared to a lot of the other multi-games. We have this one, they really went out of their way to make this one look good. Super 12-in-1. And if you'll look at the bottom of the cartridge, it doesn't say Sega, it doesn't say game, it says Gear Card. So that's another sign that it's not the real deal, because we know all about these. Our friends in Taiwan. Gear 52-in-1. That might also be a repeat. Some of these don't even have marks on the back of the cartridge. Like, it looks like they've never been put into a system. So maybe they haven't, maybe they have. This one has 8 games. Dr. Hello, Superboy 2, Bomb Jack, Galaga, Bubble Bubble, Load Runner, Road Fighter, and Excursion. That I have not seen before, besides it holding in my hand. So that's 8-in-1. Got quite a stack going. Ooh, here's a real generic version of what I just showed you. So I showed you Super 12-in-1, and let's take a look. Let me compare, let me show you the difference. How they can make a bootleg of a bootleg. Okay, this is Super 12-in-1. Okay, now if you'll look closely, and I'll put the pictures of the games up. One is literally a black and white horrible copy of the color label on the other side. So they bootlegged a bootleg label, cut it too small. They cut it almost on a square and put it on this cartridge. Same cartridge, same games, but a bootlegged label. And to bring in the end, we have Super Gear 10-in-1. So if I went kind of quick and you were wondering some of the game cartridges that list the games, I will obviously put up a picture of the game in the corner. So if you're really curious, like what games are listed on that label, you can just pause the video and look at the picture, because I'll make sure it's like blown up and bigger for you to check out. I hope you have an appreciation for these. I know a lot of collectors think these are pointless, not collectible. They're fake, so they don't count. In my collecting world of Sega Game Gear, they really, really count, because I think they're awesome. And there's so many games that were never made for Game Gear that were ported onto these multi-game cartridges that you can actually play. And it's kind of cool to be able to pull up a game that you shouldn't be able to play on Game Gear, and there it is. So that is the end of container 6. I thought it would take it in 3 parts. This is 4 parts, but this container is empty, which means I can now take pictures of everything that came out of here that I put into the, clear plastic storage boxes, pictures of all these multi-games, and load this back up, so then I officially know what's in container 6 when I put it back into storage. And then I will pull container 7 out and start going through that. And again, I appreciate everybody who watches, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like the video, please hit like, that's cool. And if you want to connect with me or talk with me or trade pictures or whatever about Game Gear, you can find me on Instagram. So be well, take care, and I will hopefully see you soon for container 7 part 1.
I ain't having that shit!